Hi everyone, grab your coffee, grab your tea. This is going to be one of those longer videos. It's kind of the grand finale to my parts 1 through 9 pantry organization videos, which will be linked in the description box below. I'm going to walk you through my pantry. I'm going to talk about my mistakes, my regrets, and what I got going on in 2024. So sit back and join me. See you soon. Hey everybody, welcome to Kelly's Prepping Kitchen. Today I wanted to give you a tour of my pantry. I usually do this once a year to just kind of show you changes that I've made, and I talk about regrets that I have, things I wish I did different, things I wish I bought more of or less of. So this is going to be my 2024 pantry tour. People might say, why do you show your pantry? There's a lot of people out there who don't show their pantries, and for very good reason. It could be a security issue. Other people might look at it like showing my pantry might look like I'm boasting or showing off something, and it might make people who don't have all those things feel bad about themselves. And I want you to know my heart. Anything that I show is strictly for learning purposes, to show you things through my mistakes. I know there's many new people who are starting to get into preparedness. They're just seeing the ways of the world. And I just think that it's important that we keep teaching people through our trials and errors so they don't have to waste time, resources, and money making the mistakes that we've learned from. This bookshelf back here, Chloe's bookshelf, this used to be my pantry. Not in this room, it was in the same room my current pantry is in, but this was it. This was my pantry. Back in the day, I was really into couponing, and it was when that show Extreme Couponers was big, and I just was fascinated with it. It became a challenge to me to just see how much money can I save. But the downfall to that is I was buying things just because I could get them cheap or on sale. It wasn't even necessarily the brand I like or a product that I enjoyed. As a result, I ended up giving a lot of that stuff away. A lot of people are like, dude, what do you do with all that food? And the truth of the matter is, it's not just for us. It's not just for our family. What I have belongs to whoever needs it. No questions asked. I have shared with family, with adult children, with neighbors, strangers in my community who I didn't know, who's posted to local pages, hey, we're out of food, if anybody can help us out. I arranged to meet them with a big old care box. That's not a humble brag. That is me just saying, if you see all this food and get any ideas in your head about the type of person I am or anything, I'm letting it be known, because I want to hopefully maybe inspire other people to do similar things in their community. I used to look at my pantry like a trophy case. I'm just being honest. Because I do have OCDs, and I like everything to look a certain way. And if I would use a can of something or a box of something, I would run out to the store and buy 2 more to replace it. And that's not a good way to work through your preps. I'm already blessed beyond measure. My cup runneth over. So I am just happy to share what I got. And I just know that God will provide a way for me. If you're starting a pantry, you can take a shelf in your closet. You can get one of those plastic bins from the dollar store that look like little shoe bins and place it under your bed. If storage is an issue, there really is no reason that anybody can not start a pantry. You may never have it to the extent of someone else. And that reminds me of a beautiful phrase that I saw on Facebook. Never look at your neighbor's bowl to make sure you have as much as them. Look at their bowl to make sure they have as much as you. And I thought that was just so profound. Like, don't look at other YouTube videos of people with their massive basement walk-in pantries and get frustrated that you might not have the same thing. Anybody that stumbles on my channel and doesn't know my situation, we've got different diet needs in our house. We have a couple of vegetarians that we have to provide for. One with a metabolic disorder, so she can't eat meat, so she's limited on what she can have. And If you've got $5 a week or $10 a week, whatever your budget allows, and you can shop sales, maybe that's a good way to start. I know that some people might buy a meal at a time. For example, let's say they want to make tuna casserole. So with their $5, of course I don't know if $5 will buy this anymore. They'll get a can of tuna, a can of peas, one of those Knorr pasta sides or pastaroni to make themselves one meal. And that's what they do every week. They buy ingredients for a meal. Maybe they may do a category at a time. Like this week, I'm going to buy baking needs. So with my $5 or 10 or 20, I'm going to get some baking soda, some flour, some sugar, some yeast, and do it that way. My personal recommendation, and again, do what's right for you and your family, I would shop the sales. Everything I started with was a result of couponing. Don't just buy something because it's on sale if you don't like it, if your family won't eat it. That should go without saying. I'm guilty of that, where I would buy something because it was such a great deal or I had a coupon for it or whatever, and nobody in my family liked it. I didn't even like it. It was just like, well, maybe we'll learn to like it, or maybe we can doctor it up and add seasonings and make it taste this way instead of that way. If you are in a place where you can put something aside, look for the sales. Coupons, circulars for the grocery stores near you. Shop those discounted stores, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. If you've got any of those discounted grocery stores, a lot of the things are seasonal, like Valentine's Day passed, so they probably have a ton of their Valentine's Day candy marked down to 10 cents. Things like that. A lot of the things at these discounted stores, they are approaching Best Buy dates. And so those things you'll want to use caution if you're shopping there for the purpose of putting away in your long-term pantry. They've got things where the label maybe has come off or the product is still intact, but it might be dented. I have spent $10 and come out with bags of groceries. If you've got a place like that near you, you can buy that stuff to eat now, and then that will free up some more money to put towards something that maybe costs a little bit more but will last longer, that you can put in your long-term pantry. Let's go into the pantry. I'm not one of those fear mongers. The world is coming to an end, that's obvious. Read your Bible. You'll see all kinds of prophecy unfolding. You're gonna wanna prepare for things that are more likely to happen where you live. We live on the Gulf Coast. Hurricanes, flooding, those are things that we need to watch out for. If you're in Oklahoma, Tornado Alley. If you've got earthquakes on the West Coast, blizzards in the Northeast. When it comes to food, what are things that we can open and eat in our pantry? You got things that you can open and eat if you were to lose power. So Spam packets, pulled pork, tuna kits. Let's say you're going to be without power for a few days. You don't want to get food fatigue. It would be nice, especially if it's in the winter and you're cold. You know, just eating room temperature food might get kind of old. Two things I recommend that you have, non-food items, or some kind of means to heat something up, even if you're just boiling hot water to add to the little mashed potato cartons or the little macaroni and cheese cartons. Heating up ramen noodle soup, the cup of noodles, even if you just have a way to boil water, like one of those Jetboil camping stoves. I don't think those are terribly expensive, but as long as you have a way to heat up something in your pantry, that might make all the difference in the world. You're also going to want to have a handheld can opener, because if you lose power and you don't have electricity, you need to open some of those food items. It's kind of like walking a tightrope when you're putting away food for long-term storage. Number one, taste buds change. 5 years ago when I started putting stuff away that I liked, that I don't like anymore. Our health changes. I have to watch my sodium, so I can't eat one of these daily. Let's just talk about condiments for a moment. Condiments, spices, seasoning packets, those are all things that you're going to want to have a variety of because you want to avoid food fatigue and you can take one meal and make it taste multiple different ways. So if you're at the store and you see that there's a sale on barbecue sauce, if you have a Kroger near you, they often have those 10 for 10s. So you can get 10 barbecue sauces for $10. We don't use these very often. We probably easily have 10 barbecue sauces. I don't know the shelf life. I can look at the Best By date, but I don't really go by the Best By date. That's something else we should talk about, Best By dates. You got a sell by date, a use by date, a Best By date, and they're all different. The only thing I would use caution on really staying close to the date is going to be like your dairy products. Even though Corey has eaten yogurt that expired like a year earlier, I'm not even joking. In a way that's kind of scary. It makes me think, what preservatives are they putting in there? A lot of the serial numbers on these items and the dates, a lot of them are more for manufacturing purposes. If there's a recall, you do want to rotate food in your pantry. So if you have a barbecue sauce and you get some on sale, you come home, you're going to want to pull the one you already have towards the front and put the other ones behind it. There's actually been times where I've gone to the grocery store and bought something that I already had at home, brought it home, and the expiration date on what I just brought home was actually sooner than what I already had on the pantry. I guess back in 2020, all the strikes, the food that just sat on the barges, there's a lot of food that just isn't lasting as long as it used to. I do love me some Arby's sauce. That was my very first job when I was 15, working at Arby's. They were the only people that hired 15-year-olds. Arby's is very near and dear to me, and I love their sauce. We often make Arby's roast beef sandwiches. We just get some roast beef from the deli, and I take some of that processed squeezy cheese and get some onion rolls, and bada boom, bada bing, we got Arby's sandwiches. We also get the frozen curly fries from Arby's. And then Corey is a fan of the horseradish bourbon vanilla ham glaze. So see, I got that for $1.50. And that was originally like $12, $13. So we can use this around the holidays. So if we get a ham, you just pour this on it and you got yourself a glaze. Bacon jam. Things that you want to use caution with is mayonnaise. Anything that's got egg ingredients in it that might sour after time or separate, you want to just keep your eye on things like mayonnaise, ranch dressing, which we also have. Duke's mayonnaise, my favorite. This is the bacon and tomato. A habanero garlic, that's Corey's favorite. Coconut aminos is a good substitute for soy sauce, so it's better for you, less sodium. When Corey gripes at me for buying too much of something, all I gotta say is 2 words to him: hot sauce. He hoards hot sauce like you wouldn't believe. He won't let me put it here in the pantry. He has his own special space for all his hot sauce. I guess this got in here by mistake. I should have come and looked in my pantry the other day when I was making things with chickpeas. My tahini paste in the fridge had gotten all hard, so I couldn't really use it. It's supposed to be like a liquid. I had one in here, and I wish I knew that then. I am a fan of pickles like you wouldn't believe, so here is some dill pickle mustard. Marinades are good to have. Simmer sauces are good to have. Dipping sauces are good to have for your meat, if you make chicken nuggets or you want to dip your fries. I think you get the idea. One of the last things I showed in my pantry organization series, and I'll be sure to include all of those in the description box below. I think part 9 was my meat pantry. I don't spend a fortune on shelving units. I always look for freebies that people are putting on their curb on heavy trash pickup day, or look at the auctions, the yard sales, estate sales. I got this at the flea market for like $20. I think I put breakfast Augustin Farms up there. Whole eggs, scrambled eggs. Those are just some complete meals. When I did part 9, my mic pooped out on me, so I was talking and everything was muted, and then I had to do a ridiculous voiceover trying to read my lips and figure out what I was saying, and I kept turning my back, so I was like, I don't know what I'm rambling about. Over on this side is mostly Keystones. We have turkey, we have beef. I thought we had some pork, I thought we had some chicken. Maybe we used it, I have no idea. These little diced hams, the luncheon meat, pulled pork, dried beef. So if I'm being honest, it's not a lot different than Spam or a lunch loaf. It's just shaped different. Corey's got some of his sardines. We have some tuna fish. These are cans of complete meals that have meat in them. So here's your taco complete that has ground beef, black beans, tomatoes, corn. You've got your spaghetti rings and meatballs. I think there's some chili back there. Here's some chicken a la king that you can pour over some rice. White chicken chili. The bottom two rows are going to be things that we canned, and I highly recommend, if you've got the time and the resources to learn how to can if you don't know already, this is going to be a great investment, a great money saver. But sometimes it is just cheaper to buy the cans of meat, but I'm just saying this was a good skill that our grandparents and great-grandparents had, and some chicken, white meat, dark meat, mixed sausage. In this drawer down here is going to just be some more convenient meat, beef jerky, complete meals, meal kits like smoked tuna salad and white beans. Beef jerky is a great thing to have on hand. You know how I was talking about getting yourself a jet boil or some way to heat up water? If you're wanting to eat something like beef stroganoff, for example, you use one of those pasta sides, you throw some of these jerky pieces into the boiling water, and then it's basically like having little skirt steak pieces because it softens up. And I know they have a lot of jerky at the Dollar Tree. In these 3 food grade buckets right here, we have an assortment of dry beans, mostly pinto, I think. And these are just kind of the leftover beans that we could not fit in the buckets. And in this bucket right here, we have an assortment of our baking needs. Baking soda, baking powder, yeast, flour, brown sugar. Under the desk we have some lunch and dinner like MRE kits. I haven't opened them yet, but this is by Augustin Farms. In those food grade buckets back there we have our flour and sugar, all of our tomato products, tomato powder, diced tomatoes, rotel, pasta sauces, tomato paste, sun-dried tomatoes, dried tomatoes, tomatillo sauce, mole. One thing I'll say about tomato products in a can is you want to be careful because of the high acid. I would say tomatoes and pineapples, I'm sure they can go past their shelf life or past their best by date, but I don't know that I would extend it years past the best by date. We've made it a goal that this year we're going to try to do a lot of tomato-based recipes so we can kind of rotate through that because we do have a lot of tomato products. This is just a little bit of everything, kind of snacks. We got our hot cereals up there. We've got crackers and a couple of chips right here. You don't want to put away years worth of crackers or years worth of chips. All my canned vegetables are in my working pantry. I would kind of like to have less of the snacky stuff and kind of grow my canned vegetables in here. So that's going to be something I'm working on in 2024. Top shelf up there is going to be our hot cereals, our oatmeals, our grits, and I've got some granola, some pumpkin pie granola up there, steel cut oats, crispy ramen snacks. This one's garlic flavor. You basically take ramen noodles and you bake them. We bake them and put them on our salads. So But these are quickly becoming one of my favorite snacks. They're wheat crackers, tempura flavor. We got these from the Asian market. These huge rice cakes over here are very good. They come in different flavors. We've got cinnamon, cheddar. I think one of these is strawberry. You can put cream cheese on them or peanut butter and they make a really good snack. Sesame sticks, rye chips. We've got some plantains that are churro flavored. It's popcorn. Just keep in mind when you're putting away snacks in your long-term storage, they're not going to last as long. A lot of those things, they've got oils and they'll kind of get stale. Everything up here is freeze-dried fruits. A lot of these freeze-dried snacks I did get from the Dollar Tree. A lot of these I bought before we got our freeze dryer, but they're still good to have because they're single servings ready to grab and go. Smoked jalapeno almonds, elote corn nuts, sweet potato, honey butter almonds, English toffee, latte almonds, cozy crunch. So this is kind of like a little trail mix. Edamame, wasabi flavored peas, trail mix from H-E-B called Texas Heat. We've got the Cajun peanuts, roasted salted corn kernels, pretzel sticks, sesame sticks, chili rice crackers. These are really good. Walnuts and pecans, peanuts, some more dehydrated sweet potatoes, orange slices, not the candy orange slices. These are dehydrated orange slices. These came from Trader Joe's. You can put them in your hot tea instead of lemon. Peeled roasted chestnuts. After Christmas, I went and bought all the candy cane almonds from H-E-B that were more than half off. So a bag like this is regular $9. I think I got it for $4. Almonds dipped in chocolate, white chocolate, and then rolled in peppermint dust. I will easily eat these all throughout the year. Nuts are also something that you don't want to store in your long-term storage. Again, natural oils. Like I've got this toasted coconut. Cashews, these are so delicious, but I can tell they're already kind of sticking together. So same with the elote almonds. These are delicious too. Oh, okay, we're good on these. June of 26. I don't pay so much attention like I used to, where I wouldn't even taste something. If it said that the Best By date has already passed, if it's expired, I just toss it. So I don't do that anymore. But with the nuts, with the crackers, with cereals, sugary cereals, you're going to want to pay attention to those Best By dates. On that shelf, I put all my extra bins that I'm not currently using up there. In that next shelf down, I've got a bunch of my salad dressings. That's something else you want to be cautious with, putting away long term. I've got a bunch of ranch over there. Any kind of mayonnaise, things that have eggs in them, and oils, you're going to want to pay close attention to the expiration date. Just smell it, look at it, taste it. Use your 5 senses God gave you. If it looks okay, smells okay, tastes okay, then I'm sure it's fine. The shelf, it looks like I have a little bit more room to put some additional things, but for now, I've just got popcorn kernels. Okay, on this shelf, I got some grab-and-go fruit cups, the dried mango, or the diced mango, I should say, and then the boba peach pink lemonade cups. I love those. I've got my homemade apple butter and apple sauces, my jarred fruit, cherries, mangoes. I've got my guava paste. These are those poppers, those boba pearls that you put on frozen yogurt or ice cream. You can even bake these in recipes. I'm going to try to teach myself how to make these little tapioca pearls. Corey brought home some different flours from the Amish market, like barley flour, cracker flour, biscuit mix. This came from, I think, Daiso is how you say it, and it's kind of like a Five Below or a Dollar Tree. They're tiny, tiny ice cube trays. I was thinking about making my elderberry syrup and freezing them, or maybe freezing them and then putting them on the freeze dryer as little cubes and store them on our shelf, and then if we need to use them, we can just put them in a little bit of water and take a single serving. On that top shelf is all of our Augustin Farms freeze-dried fruits. You see on that shelf right there, we have a ton of peanut butter. We were going through the peanut butter pretty steadily there for a while, but we kind of just stopped. And I know that this is the natural peanut butter. You can see the oil at the top. We actually made these in a peanut butter factory. We volunteered at this place where they make peanut butter for the homeless. For each shift that we worked, we get one free peanut butter and then we can buy them for a very reduced rate. I know that the natural peanut butter is going for about $7 to $9 a jar. So I was able to get them for, I think, $1.25. So that's why I have so many of these. And I need to just start coming up with some peanut butter recipes here soon. Maybe I'll make more Fluffer Nutter on the freeze dryer. That was such a hit. That shelf over there is going to have our croutons, stuffing mix, shake and bake, anything you top a casserole with, French fried onions, red pepper, Crispies. I think I have some garlic and some pickled flavor ones. Yeah, here's garlic. Olivia was going through a green bean casserole phase. We were making that like 4 times a week, so I stocked up on the French fried onions. Over here, we've got more peanut butter and different jellies. Honey butter, pistachio spread, kind of like Nutella, like a hazelnut white chocolate spread, some cranberry jelly, cherry jam, peach honey spread, anything that could go on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or on toast. Sweet snacks, I'll be honest with you, we buy things throughout the year, end up not eating them, and then they go into our Halloween bin. Cotton candy puffs are super addictive. Peppermint puffs, love the shelf-stable pudding, the snack packs back there. I actually like them better than like the Jell-O pudding that you put in the refrigerator. Cookies, Hello Kitty Goldfish, they're strawberry shortcake flavored. Pocky sticks, strawberry. These we used to get at the Asian market, and I think they sell them now at Aldi. The vanilla panda cookies, barley, so I need to make a soup with those. Canned mushrooms, boiled peanuts, I have no idea where to put these. White wheat berries, so I need to put this up somewhere. The next thing I have in my pantry are seasoning packets. One of the things that you're going to want to make sure you're doing if you are putting food away for long-term storage, you want to make sure that you have some seasonings on hand so you can jazz up something and make it taste a different way. Simmering sauces, tikka, marsala, yellow curry, chipotle simmer sauces. These are just things to kind of jazz up a meal. Some of these can be made into soups, bases, or your meat made into dips. Tacos al pastor, powdered gravy mixes. Let's say you have a few cans of tuna. You can do maybe a lemon pepper one day and do like a barbecue one another day. And if you want to avoid food fatigue, if you do get in a situation where you do have to live off shelf-stable food in your pantry, you just want to make sure you have a variety of seasonings. While I'm showing you these seasoning packets, let me go ahead and show you my seasoning shelf. If you wanted to see more of the spices that I have, I will be sure to put parts 1 through 9 of my pantry organization series in the description box below. And one of those, I organize my seasoning rack, and I kind of go over more of the seasonings in greater detail if you are interested in just kind of getting some ideas of some things that you might want to put away in your pantry. This cabinet system right here, I'm thinking about moving into the kitchen, but for now it has things for my daughters that are specifically for vegetarians. Soy textured protein crumbles. This would replace ground beef in soups or tacos, imitation bacon. This is really, really good if you want to bulk up a ground beef dish. Shelf-stable tofu, some tofu jerky that we got at one of the Asian markets. Condiment rack that in one of my videos I got it down from 3 rolling carts to 1. And it's got wheels, which makes it good because I can just scoot it around the room to get it out of the way. I have my dry pasta up there, spaghetti noodles, fettuccine, elbow macaroni. Down here is all of our ramen noodles. On the next shelf down, rice-a-ronis or pasta-ronis, a box of barley, hamburger helper, skillet meals, or macaroni and cheeses, and Knorr pasta sides, the things that are ready to open and eat. Augustin Farms, the Backpackers Pantry. We've got some rice that we put away, wild rice, pearl couscous. I have a lot of my stuff put away. I'm trying to put it in containers to kind of keep the bugs and rodents out. Not that we have an issue in our house. As an extra precaution, because you want to look at your long-term food storage as insurance. You want to keep it as protected as possible. So depending on your climate, know that our area is prone to flooding. So in an ideal situation, we would move this upstairs. Each shelf that I'm showing you, I have done one video on, and I just go into greater detail, but I'm just kind of doing a quick walkthrough to show you the progress that I've made since last year and since I started organizing these pantry shelves. We've got a lot of our Amy's chili for my vegetarian daughters if we ever make Frito chili pie. Some soups that are just ready to open and eat. Frontier soups, which are not my favorite if I'm being honest. We have soups that are just ready to heat up and go, that are little individual servings. You just put them in a cup and add some hot water. Knorr, Lipton, more from the Asian market. The very bottom row is all soups that I put in casseroles that I don't really eat on their own, like cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. Those are all soups that I put in something. And then in that bin right there, that's all my brown gravy. You go up a row, and that's just some of the Campbell soups, Denny Moore's. Forgot to mention on the top row, if you can see back there, the Augustin Farms. Those are chilies and soups. This shelf behind me are my baking needs. And this is a shelf that I kind of hope to dwindle down on. In fact, I kind of am. There's a bunch of holes in here. We don't use a lot of these things. We don't bake cookies or cakes or pies very often. So it doesn't really make sense for us to have like years and years worth of that stuff. Plus, I want to get to a point where I'm doing more things from scratch, so I'm using single ingredients. I know it's good to have a couple of these on hand. Realistically, we don't always have time. In an ideal world, I would make my biscuits from scratch all the time. I've got lots of packets of biscuit mixes and then a lot of flour in these buckets. But I prefer to just buy them frozen, already made, where I just pop them in the oven, because for me to get it out, get the flour, get the rolling pin, get the cup, and do all the, cutting them out and all that. It just, sometimes I don't have that kind of time. This year I would like to explore and familiarize myself with a lot of these tools and gadgets that I have so I can start making things homemade. Like I have a tortilla press. I've used that a couple times. I have a pasta maker, but I've yet to use that. I've got my bagel maker, chocolate chips, mint pieces, the Reese's pieces, white chocolate chips, cinnamon sticks, taro syrup, maple syrup, lemon curd, Hershey cocoa powder. These are my baking spices here. Pineapple juice powder. You can put this in smoothies or in your plain Greek yogurt. Orange juice powder, coconut milk powder, cream of tartar, strawberry powder, banana powder, peppermint leaves. So I see chocolate banana, strawberry sugar crystals. On this next row, we've got ghee, honey, and these come in different flavors. They're infused. So I've got vanilla bean, I think there's a cinnamon one back there. Powdered butter back there. There's some banana shelf-stable milk. Coconut water powder. Horchata mix. Coconut milk powder. Sweetened condensed milks or evaporated milks. Squeezy bottle of sweetened condensed milk. These are so awesome to have because there's sometimes where I just need something quick for recipe, but I've run out of milk because we don't really drink a ton of milk in my house. If we're going camping and we're doing a recipe that calls for milk, let's go grab one of these. This expired in September of 22. We've drank them way past their best by date. Taste doesn't really change, but the texture does. It does get like little clumps in it, but that's why these come in handy for baking. No-bake cake mixes, pumpkin pie filling. We get free pumpkins every year. We live right by a pumpkin patch, and as soon as Halloween's over, they get rid of a bunch for free. We're just going to start canning ours, so I'm not going to be buying too many more cans. We've got just a variety of different canned pie fillings. Lemon, strawberry, apple, cinnamon. Got peach back there. If you ever feel like doing a dump cake, you're going to take a cake mix, pour one of those in your slow cooker. You'll have yourself a nice little cobbler. I think I mentioned Jell-O and Jell-O puddings. But have you ever had peanut butter pudding? Got this from the Asian market. I love their food. If I could shop there instead of our regular grocery stores, I would. I think the quality of the ingredients in their product is just so much better. Their produce is outstanding. I can't wait to try this. I have lots of Dream Whip powder. This is kind of like the equivalent of Cool Whip, but it's shelf stable. I also like to make orange Julius's with frozen orange juice, and I use some of this. It's amazing. I have mousse. I did this on the freeze dryer and made some cheesecake brittle. It was so good. One of my favorite things that I freeze dried. I've got multiple packets of this creme brulee from Backpacker's Pantry. This stuff is amazing, but I swear it's like cheesecake pudding mix, and then you put crystals on it, like caramelized brown sugar crystals. You just add water to it, and it becomes this mousse. I love this stuff, and I'm determined to figure out how to make this myself. So I have a couple of packets of this. It's so good. Down here we have brownie mixes, muffin tops, fudge, muffins, the Martha Whites. We got banana nut, blueberry. These are also great on your waffle iron. Cookie mixes over there. I see some praline mix. Frostings are kind of tucked away. Cornbread mixes. There's all my Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit mixes. We've got some pie crust, pizza crust, hush puppies. Breads back there. The Krusties bread, like sourdough, powdered milk, Augustin Farms. We've got the butter, the biscuit mix, pancake mix, and honey crystals. At the top shelf there, we've got canned potatoes, sliced, whole, diced, instant potatoes, au gratin potatoes. These gnocchi, which is a great substitution for dumplings. The dehydrated hash browns. Potato sticks, which are good on tuna casseroles. Cheese powder from the Amish store. Sour cream powder, white cheddar, cream cheese powder, and then some shelf-stable Parmesan cheeses. A bunch of these packets of beans, which are awesome to take hiking with you or put in a bug-out bag. Just squeeze it out on a tortilla and you got yourself a great meal. Cheese sauces, canned cheese, cheese loaves, Rico cheese that we canned, a variety of canned beans. Lima beans and butter beans are our favorite. Beans that we canned. Augustin Farms shredded cheese, potato gems, potato flakes, black bean burger. If you want to look at the video links in the description box below, I go into a little bit more detail of what's on each shelf. I definitely want to convert a lot of this stuff over to freeze-dried. It takes up less space. It weighs less, so we can take it camping with us. And if we ever had a loss of power or something, we could rehydrate it by just adding hot water. Just to recap, I would like to dwindle away on the processed foods and get more vegetables. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I keep my canned vegetables in my kitchen pantry so you won't see that in here. It really doesn't matter what budget or what space you're working with. Anybody can do this. I started out with just one simple shelf, and I know there's people that start out with little shoe boxes that they put under their bed. If you just set aside a set amount each week or each month, you too can grow a pantry. Our taste buds evolve, they change, things taste different to us over time, especially if you've got hit with the C bug. My taste buds just haven't been the same, not to mention going through menopause. As you get older, your taste buds just kind of change. So that's something else to consider when you're putting food away in your long-term storage. Don't just buy things because they're on sale if they're not something your family will eat. Be mindful of the things that don't have a long shelf life. Crackers, brown rice, anything with oil or ranch dressing, mayonnaise, things with egg in them. Pay attention to the cans. Look for dents. You might be okay on a can that's dented in the middle, but if it's by the seam, either at the top or bottom, just make sure it's not bloating and it doesn't have any black film on the outside of it. I'm sure there's many more ideas I could share with you, but I just can't think of all of them in this one video. But make sure that with your bulk food items, your rice, put those in your freezer for 48 hours and kill all the larvae and different bugs. I've had to throw away multiple bags of rice that just had bugs infested in them. It was just so nasty. Make sure that you have plenty of seasonings so you can avoid food fatigue. Don't forget to put away food for your pets. Got any neighbors or family members outside your home that you look after or care for, be sure to put something away for them too. If you have any questions or suggestions on any future videos that you want me to cover, drop it down in the comments. That would mean a lot to me. But I hope you got something out of this video. Maybe some inspiration if you're looking to put something away in your long-term storage. Hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.